Naomi, well done. You're running 7th, Gareth, well done. Where are we going, Naomi?
To Retford.
Retford Half Marathon. So Retford Half Marathon today. Setting off, just on the way. I'll do my ramble within my cool down. Just gives me something to do in cool down and pass a little bit of time. I had a bit of a down week this week. I am in my car, by the way, so if it is a little bit louder, I apologise.
Trying to show off though.
Yeah, average speed camera. Yeah, so had a bit of a down week. Took it nice and easy. I will still be on 100 mile this week, hopefully by the end of today, or just short of 100 mile anyway. But yeah, it's still 10% off what I did last week, which is about an hour and 10, an hour and 20's worth of running. Probably an hour and a half actually, because I did 114 last week. So yeah, legs were starting to feel a little bit heavy after last Sunday's run. So it's been nice to start to feel my legs a little bit again, or not feel my legs because they've not been hurting. But yeah, it's been quite a good easy week. Still did a session Tuesday, did a session Thursday as well this week rather than a track race on Wednesday. So that's been good, which is probably my first real 2-session week block, and I'll explain more about that on my cool down after Retford. So yeah, see you on the other side. Come on, Naomi! Come on! Come on! Well done!
Some good legs now. Number 35 is Stephen Cole.
Sorry, Birdie. I can't help it once I'm going. So just finished Retford Half Marathon. Just finished my cool down with Gary. Briscoe and Birdie did a little bit with us as well. So yeah, had a backdrop there at race. Look, had a decent race. Said that I wanted to run quicker than the marathon pace. End up at 5:25s. Actually, a half marathon PB for this course, but not an half marathon PB overall. About a minute 50 seconds. Well, about 50 seconds slower than my half marathon PB. But yeah, felt quite good. Had a bit of a down week this week in terms of training. So yeah, I've run 100 mile flat, which is a lot for some people, but like I mentioned in the car on the way here, I've actually run like 10% less than I have done the previous week. So yeah, it's been nice for my legs to return to somewhat what is normal, and wake up a little bit so that I can feel a little bit sharper. I've had like a busy 2 weeks of speed sort of stuff. So it's kind of paying off in terms of I'm feeling faster over a shorter distance to then feel easier when I'm doing the longer distance stuff. So training this week, in terms of Monday, just did 15 mile, felt quite comfortable, nice and easy mileage, just getting out and getting it done. Spend most of the time, as I reiterate, in the 80% easy sort of stuff, easy comfortable zone. And then Tuesday, woke up Tuesday morning, I did run with Kai as well on Monday. Woke up Tuesday morning, just went out for another easy run in the morning, and then did a speed session in the evening, which were a mile on, a mile off. Stomach went again on the evening speed session Tuesday, which were a bit of a shame, but it only went on the last rep. But it would have hindered my other reps, but yeah, I can't really grumble about it. Felt okay, hit pace, so 5:30 pace, because I meant to be running a marathon pace. So yeah, that were good. boxed off 19 mile for Tuesday, so that was like my long run this week. And then Wednesday woke up, legs felt good, ran with Kai in the morning and was actually able to run, so I weren't hobbling as much as I were the previous week. And then Wednesday night went out again, just nice and easy run just to get to tick it off. And then Thursday, 15 mile done for Thursday, so easy run again in the morning. And then in the evening went up to the new roundabout, nice and flat, it's about 550 metre loop, and just did some random, so I called it, I think it were 8 acts of kindness or something on my Strava, and just did 8 random reps to try and do something that were fast. And then I had a 30-second rest after each rep. I think my longest rep were 1:30, my shortest rep were 30 seconds, and just kind of mixed it up. I did by default end up running quite a lot, like 1 minute, but yeah, it were quicker than 5-minute miles for the majority of them, but felt good on the roundabout. Just getting through it, getting it done. And then Friday, just ran once Friday morning, just did 8 mile to box it off. I've been running twice on Friday mornings, but just ran on Fridays, sorry, but did just run once this week because I'm having a down week. And then Saturday just did 7 mile at Barnsley Park Run. Felt really strong, if I'm being honest, and ran 17:10. Did 2 laps with Scott, and then I said to Scott, like, you've got to run a sub 5 for the last lap, and he did. He bet me by about 33 seconds. I ran 5:10 for the last lap, so not bad at all. And then we had a bit of a joke on finish line that he could probably do 15:30 around Barnsley Park Run, which ain't flat because it's Barnsley and we're in beautiful South Yorkshire, although we're in Nottinghamshire today. And then on to Sunday, so was always going to be doing 20 mile, like disregarding the down week on for today. Got here quite early, set off around, I think about quarter to 8 o'clock, around about then. 45-minute run through here to Retford, nice and easy, straight down the A1. And then, yeah, got here straight away, saw Birdie who parked opposite in the car park. There were Michael Graham from Barnsley as well, and then saw Gary, who spent about 10 minutes on toilet saying he was playing games. And then we went for a bit of a warm-up. Did a 3.5 mile-ish warm-up, came back to the car, put some shoes on, well, some fast shoes on, and then went and did some strides before the race started. Stood on the start line today because North Links half's on as well. There weren't any, like, there were Lee Melbourne from Doncaster or Rotherham, whatever he runs for nowadays, that runs with Blizzard, but other than that there weren't anyone else really that we recognise. And we jokingly said there's no sub 70-minute guys here. And yeah, North Links, it's been put on, it was a May date and they've moved it to a March date to run a 10k at the same time, which I'm assuming used to be the Run Your Heart Out Valentine's 10k. So yeah, didn't go to North Links, which is a shame because it's a flatter course and probably would have run a PB there today, me. And same with Gary as well. So set off in the race, like checked his shoulder pretty early on, and Lee Milburn goes to me, I think we've gapped him. And there were a pack of like 3 of us at the front, so me, Lee and this other guy. We eventually went on to finish second. Lee went on to finish first. And then I think the first mile were around 5:15, 5:20 pace, which is where I wanted to be, just probably a little bit too quick if I'm being honest. I've been wanting to run like 5:25s, but first mile's always fast and it's a free one. And then stayed in the group up until probably about mile 2-3, and this lad came blistering past us and he had some Nike Pegasus turbos on, which if you're a shoe geek, they're not fast shoes at all. And then going uphill onto like the bridges and all that sort of stuff, I kind of dropped off the group knowing that there were hills and I was running a little bit out of my depth, but eventually caught back up to the group further on as we got into the country lanes about mile 4, 5, and did feel good if I'm being honest. And then I went to reach for a gel in my back pocket and I had my car key in my back pocket with my gel in, and I was scared I was going to get my car key out at the same time. But yeah, got my gel out, had a bit of my gel, which were a Morton caffeine 100, and yeah, it didn't go down too well and felt like I was choking on it, if I'm being honest. But I need to get used to practicing at speed, taking a gel, just for when I get to marathons. And then, yeah, dropped off the group on the double out and back. And yeah, I slipped out of the top 3 at that point. And then on the out and back, saw Gary Briscoe, who were running really well, to say we're meant to be pacing Birdie, and saw him, said well done, like it can dig in, probably catch me, and which he ultimately did around mile 8 and a half. And then that was that. It was just a case of holding on. Probably did run a positive split. I did clock about 1:11:15, which I think is a 30-second course PB, which quite happy with that. Went through 10 mile in around 54 minutes, and it were hillier. So hopefully first next week, my course PB there's 53:19, and that's my 10 mile PB. Nowhere near Emile Caresse standard of 45 minutes, but yeah, it's relative to yourself, relative to what you're doing, and yeah, enjoying it, enjoying every step, and that's hopefully what breeds rewards and consistency for you. And as long as you compare yourself to yourself and not others, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, getting out, getting it done. Won't be having a down week as such next week. We'll be back into normal rhythm, normal training. But Monday, Tuesday, me and one of the other lads from work, from the project I run, Game Changer, we've had a big call up to Wembley. So Monday, Tuesday, we're down in London at Wembley Stadium, having a ground tour and presenting back to the Football Foundation and the funders about all the good work that we've been doing in Worsborough and Kendra. So that'll be quite good. But it will mean that I'll miss the Tuesday speed session with the gang, so I'll have to fit it in some other time to get the mileage in. But yeah, work calls, and it got to remember, running's not your day job, don't pay the bills, but miles do. Yeah, so I'll just go over some of the other results as well from Barnsley AC today, and the training group. So Birdie came in around 73 minutes, I believe, which he thinks is close to a PB, so we'll have to check that. And then Michael Grain came in under 75 minutes, which is a PB for him, and realistically he's probably got a lot quicker in him. He's got the body type for it. And then Naomi, the girlfriend, so she ran this one last year in 1:29:50 something, so on the clock she came in 1:29:15 or 20 something, so she got a course PB. She biked 40 mile yesterday, so has run really well to say she's got massively tired legs. And she ran parkrun yesterday with Bessie and all that sort of stuff. Bessie got jumped by another dog at parkrun, but we'll not talk about that. She's okay, and she didn't even break a stride while she was running. So yeah, that just shows the absolute warrior that Bessie is. When it comes to running, nothing gets in her way. Little best chogi. But yeah, Naomi held on today, did a PB, tired legs. Said that she didn't have a sprint in her, but she had a jog in her. So I'll take 1:29 if she's just jogging. But yeah, good run by everyone that we train with, and it shows that it's pulling, and when you pull people together, we obviously work a lot stronger. So yeah, it's fantastic to see, and it makes you proud as well that you can breed rewards. Gary also managed to beat me today, so he got 1:10:50 something, which yeah, he held on, paced Birdie for the first 2-3 mile a little bit quick, and then yeah, passed me about 8.5 mile, and he finished 3rd place and I got 4th place. So yeah, good run, and it's enjoyable when it's your training partners that beat you. We'll say that anyway. But yeah, great. So yeah, that's that. I'll see you next week after first 10 miler. Getting closer to London now, so we're about 6 weeks away, 7 weeks away. There's quite a few of us doing it, which will be quite good, and we'll see what happens, see if the training group can bring some sort of rewards out of it. But yeah, see you on the other side. Cheers for listening.
Men's trophy then. The men's trophy goes to Barnsley, and it's Gary, Gareth, Joshua and Michael. thank you, Louise. And thank
So just got home, got my sofa. Naomi's just got a shower. Called up Wentworth Garden Centre on the way back. Ended up getting some lunch and then had a walk around the garden centre afterwards. So yeah, I had time to take my race in. Obviously did my longer video whilst I was at the race. Had time to look at like my splits and analyse a heart rate. End of the day I just ran. But we know what it's like. So yeah, looking at my splits, I did think that I ran quite a positive split race where it means you started fast and got slower. But looking at it, it's fairly good, fairly consistent. So set off 5:21s, holding in. As soon as we got out of blocks, Lee Melbourne said that we've dropped him already. So I knew that I'd have been running the race on my own if I didn't stick with the front two, the front group. And then it was a constant just running. I did get dropped a little bit and caught him back up and all that, as I mentioned earlier. But yeah, 5:21s to 5:25s for the first 5 mile, which were quite good. Don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but I nearly ran a 5 mile PB as well today, which obviously stands in good stead. And then, as I expected, so as we made the turn for the double back, pace drop, 5:29, 5:29, and then gave myself a little bit of a whoop up the backside, and knocked out a 5:19, which was downhill on the course according to Strava. And then it were another 5:29 and a 5:39, which really that's probably where I've dipped on the major uphill. Retford is more challenging in the second half anyway in terms of course. But yeah, and then I had enough for a faster finish by running a 5:14 for the last 200, which didn't like me at all. But yeah, quite happy in hindsight of my race and looking back at it and reflecting. When I ran 1:11:45 at Retford in 2020, I believe. I'll have a look at that. When I ran 1:11:45 for Retford with 2019, and I went on a month later to run 2:26 at Manchester, and then in 2020 we pulled hamstring, ran 1:12:30 off the back of a 2:25 at York. So it just points in the right direction that I'm in the right ballpark and the right playing field to where I want to be when it comes race day for the marathon. Confidence took from it and a massive confidence boost going forward. I've looked as well, I've run Retford as a race 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and 22 and 23. So I've done every Retford half marathon there's been since 2015. I believe my best performance there, I have finished third there before. It had been before Edge. Yeah, third place, 2019, 1:11:45. But yeah, enjoyed it. Good morning out. Went with Garden Centre, were nice on the way back. We didn't take Bessie today because she's been with my brother walking. And went with Garden Centre. Is dog friendly in places, but the cafe were warm inside, and Bessie can't go in the warm cafe, so she's missed out on another cafe trip. Probably the first cafe trip she's missed out on with us in a very long time. Usually has a seat at the dining room table. But yeah, other than that, as I mentioned earlier, first next week. So see you on the other side.